Not successful. I mean, you can't sit there and say it's working. I mean, we're not successful on first and second down. We haven't been successful in the first half of games.
Chip Kelly says he has to do a better job play calling. Stephen A., are you surprised by this?
I'm shocked. It's touching for him to finally admit that he's done something wrong. We all know what a genius Chip Kelly is, and far be it for him to admit that he's wrong about anything. He's not wrong about what he says. He's not wrong about what he does. He's not wrong about rules and regulations and stipulations that he implements for players to follow religiously, without fail, at his discretion. He's not wrong about anything. And so whenever he definitely finds himself in a position where he has to admit that he's wrong, it's clearly an epiphany. It's clearly something that should touch our soul and to make us all recognize that indeed he is human, because he has come across as incredibly robotic in his tenure with the Philadelphia Eagles. We're very touched by what we have seen. The multitude of bodies that have departed from Philadelphia in favor of guys that he thought were best for the team, who clearly don't appear to be that way at this particular juncture. They're 1-3 on the season. Their offense is not the greatest in the world. They're ranked like 20, something around like 25th in terms of their passing attack. They've got like the 25th are ranked rushing. I'm sorry, they're ranked 30th in rushing yards, because only Ryan Matthews is the only running back that appears to be able to run the football in Chip Kelly's system. From a receiver standpoint, of course, Jordan Matthews is in the second year. Riley Cooper, for some reason, is still on the roster. Nelson Aguilar is a rookie. All of those guys are individuals that Chip Kelly deemed were suitable replacements for the Deshaun Jacksons and Jeremy Maclins of the world. We ain't even getting into the offensive line. You've got a running game. You go and you get DeMarco Murray and Ryan Matthews, but you decide that you don't need Mathis and Hermans on your offensive line. And you've got a guy like Lane Johnson acknowledging that the offensive line is the Achilles heel of this team. They're the guys that are not showing up and producing. And if you don't address the line of scrimmage, most NFL aficionados understand you're not going to have a level of success. But no, of course, Chip Kelly doesn't feel that way. He's boy wonder. He's the boy genius. Of course he doesn't think like that. Absolutely not. So what our line of scrimmage, our offensive line, stinks right now. So what of our defensive line is suspect? Makes no difference whatsoever. We don't have to win at the line of scrimmage in my system because I'm Chip Kelly. And so that's the Chip Kelly that we've known for quite some time. But nevertheless, we saw something new yesterday, albeit briefly. For a moment there was epiphany that indeed he was not perfect, that indeed he could be flawed, that indeed that there's something wrong with some of the things that he has done. And maybe, just maybe, modifications might be the order of the day. It was very touching for me to see, quite honestly, because it's something I never thought that I would see from the great champion known as Chip Kelly, who is still devoid of one.
That is correct. I was going to ask you what exactly he has won, but the answer is nothing.
It was called sarcasm, Skip. It's called sarcasm.
Is your soul touched?
Thank you. Yeah, my soul is touched by everything my friend Stephen A. Smith just said about his friend Chip Kelly. The operative word for me here is desperate. I believe that Chip Kelly is now so desperate that he didn't volunteer blame that he was going to take. He just accepted off a question. He accepted the blame. Well, that's a breakthrough. Wait, the smartest man in the room actually acknowledged publicly, yeah, I could do a better job of calling plays. Well, it's a breakthrough because this team is about to get broken. This team is 1-3, and if it fell to 1-4, you couldn't write them completely off. But I think psychologically they would be broken. That's my feel. And yet they have New Orleans at home. Crucial. It's almost make or break, even though we're still early in the year. But I believe what Chip did, as small a gesture as it actually was, but in the grand scheme of things, it was a big gesture. I think it will help his cause in his locker room. I think it will allow the players to sigh a little bit, be a little relieved that, my God, our coach actually took a modicum of blame for what has happened in here. Obviously, you can blame the quarterback. Sam Bradford looks shell-shocked to me. He looks like he's lost his nerve in the pocket. Go ahead. Skip,
am I fair in saying that that's the first time I've ever recalled Chip Kelly shouldering any responsibility for what has happened with the Philadelphia Eagles?
Breakthrough.
With the Eagles, yes. Okay. I didn't follow him close enough at Oregon to know what he did, but they were always so good. I don't think he was ever required to shoulder much blame. But in this case, Listen, it's a talented football team. We saw some flashes from Sam Bradford, 2 bombs. Although what Chris Culliver was doing on those 2 plays for the Redskins, I have no idea. It looked like he lost touch with reality and just forgot he was actually in the football game. And
Amen to that.
Said, wait a second. Oh, my guy just caught a touchdown pass. It's not like he spaced out. I don't know what he was doing. But those were 2 impressive bombs that Sam Bradford actually threw. He can throw it when you protect him and he doesn't flinch in the pocket. But it's still a talented football team, and I still think they can beat the Saints. And then they have 3 straight big primetime games. They got Monday night against your New York Football Giants at home. Then they go to Carolina on a Sunday night and go to Dallas on a Sunday night. Well, I don't think I'm not going to write them off yet, because I could see them winning 3 of these 4 games. I just could. And they could get in, as we just talked about, in the NFC East, you could get right back in the hunt. And if they do get back into the hunt in the NFC East, I think you'll look back at that moment in that press conference as maybe a pivotal turning point for Chip Kelly, that he said, yeah, I could do a better job. And his players are like, thank you. Now let's heave a sigh of relief and let's pull back together and let's go beat the Saints. Well,
I think all Chip Kelly needs to remember is, try emulating some of the things that have worked on an NFL level for a change, instead of trying to reinvent the wheel.
Yep.
The NFL is the NFL. There are certain things that just ain't going to work. And there's no question that I believe the Philadelphia Eagles have elite talent in the NFL.
Yeah, they do.
At some positions.
Sure.
I really, really believe. They're not scrubs. They're not scrubs. They can play. But I think that he's trying to bring a level of finesse to the game. And guess what? When your chest is getting caved in, or your knees are getting cut from out under you, or you get knocked upside your head, finesse ain't gonna save you. You need some rough riders out there, and Chip Kelly's better get with that program.
I'll go on record. They will beat the Saints at home. I know that's not a big deal, but
favorite.
I just think they'll beat them.
We'll see. We'll see.
Right.
All right. Do you guys think the Colts are done? Andrew Luck is out. Matt Hasselbeck is in. Should Stephen A. be concerned about some bad luck hitting the... Forget him. It's my fantasy quarterback.
Oh, well, that's all that matters.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. We'll be back in a minute.
This is a witch hunt. I'm sick to death, dead wrong. The odds are in your favor.
No, you don't.
High and dry. High and dry. It's unbelievable. Tell me you can't close that deal. I won the fight.